Hello everyone, a good day to all. So this is Pushpashri, faculty of Math and Tutorials. So I'll be handling mathematics for Navodaya, Sainik as well as RMS school entrance exam. So well my dear students, so this is your first mock test. So all the best for everyone. Hope you have all have done it well. And here is a key answer for your mock exam one, that is especially mathematics. So first let me go with your introduction of the paper. So here what it's going to tell you, this paper is going to contain two sections. So nearly you have a two section in this paper, okay, and where you have to answer every questions, and it's mandatory for you to answer every questions. And in mathematics you'll be having 50 question, and the each question is going to carry 3 marks, so that is nothing but 50 into 3. So wholly that is 115 marks has been allocated for mathematics. And in the same way, you have a general knowledge where you have a 25 questions, and each question will be carrying a 2 marks. So where general knowledge is a combination of both GK as well as your general science. So where 25 question each carries 2 marks, so which is 50 marks you can gain in this paper. Coming to your third paper, that's your English language, where you have a 25 question, and each question is going to carry 2 marks. So that is nothing but 25 into 2 again. So which is nothing but 50 mark. And this is about your section 1. And also you have another section, that is your section 2. So section 2 wholly deals about intelligence paper. It only deals about this intelligence paper, and where you have a 25 question, and each question is going to carry a 2 mark in this paper. So I can tell 25 into 2 again 50 mark. So totally you people have got 300 marks now. 150 plus 50 plus 50 and 50, and it is now 300 paper. And section 2, so what about the section 2? So let us see this about section 2. All of you have a look into this, and this section 2 will be enabled after the 2 hours of the beginning of the test. So where the 2 hours has been allocated for mathematics and as well as for GK, and the remaining 1 hour, so that is been 30 minutes. So 2 hours is allocated for the section 1, and the 30 minutes has been allocated for your section 2. Okay, and where you have to select only one option in each of the question, whether whatever the section might be, whatever the subject might be, only one option will be chosen. And the duration of the test is 2.5 hours, that is 2 hours 30 minutes, and no negative marking will not be given for a wrong answer. So come on, let's begin with our sections. The very first section, so that's your mathematics. So let me go with your mathematics, the very first question. So here I'll be just solving you the solutions for that particular questions. So students, have a look into your first question. What does your first question is going to tell you? A student is going to multiply 7,236 by 65. So where he has to multiply the number 7,236 by 56. But instead of multiplying by 56, he has multiplied by 65. So by how much was his answer was greater than the correct answer? Because 56 is the smallest number, 65 is the greatest number. The person, the student has been multiplied this number with the greatest number. So when he is multiplying with the greatest number, he is going to get a something much answer than he would have multiplied with a 56. So what you have to find, you have to find what is his answer, whether his answer is greater than the correct answer, how much it is greater, you have to find. So let me go with your solution. Have a look into your solution. Required number is equal to, required number is equal to 7,236 into 56, because this from this number only he had to multiply it. So you're gonna get 4,05,216 when you're going to multiply the number. So what is the new number? So then the new number will be equal to 7236 into 65. Instead of multiplying by 56, the student has multiplied by 65. So when he is multiplying by 65, the student is getting the answer of 4,70,000 4,70,340. So therefore, the required difference, so I can tell the difference between this, the required difference will be equal to just minus those numbers, that is 4,70,340 minus 4,05,216. So when you're going to subtract these two numbers, you people are gonna get the answer of 65,124, and this is your correct answer. That means you have to mark your option 1. So option 2. So where your option 2 is the correct answer. So now let me go with your second question. All of you have a look into your second question. So this is the answer for your first question. So let me go with your second question now. All of you have a look into your second question. Simplify. So where you have to simplify the following: 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 divided by 3 by 4 minus 1 by 3, and you can see the circle bracket, you can see the flower bracket over here. So with the usage of the Brodmer's rule, we can solve this. So how to solve? Come, let's see that the solution of it. By using the Brodmer's rule, we have to solve. That is 1. I'm going to start from over here. So 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 divided by, open the bracket, 3 by 4 minus 1 by 3, close the bracket, and again close the flower bracket. So usage of Brodmer's rule, you have the bracket first. Let us remove the bracket first. So in brackets we have the rule, which are the brackets that we have to remove it first. So use that formula, use that thing. So which brackets that we have to remove first, with the same thing that we have learned. Let's start removing the brackets of the numbers, and then we'll just start solving the problem. So first we have to remove the circle bracket and the flower bracket and the square bracket. So in the question we just have the circle bracket. So let's remove that first. That is 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 divided by, when you take the LCM of 4 and 3, you're gonna get 12, and take the first part of the fraction. So I'm going to do your working note. Taking the LCM for 4 and 3 ones are 4 as it is, 4 ones are 1. So 3 into 4, it is 12. Now take the first part of the fraction, 3 by 4 into 12. 4 ones are 4, and then 4 threes are 12, 3 threes are 9. Put the 9 here and put the subtraction sign. Take the second part of the fraction, 1 by 3 into 12. 3 ones are 3, 3 fours are 12, 4 ones are 4, and put your 4 over here and close your flower bracket. So before closing that, still we have not solved this. So let this be in the bracket only. So 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 6 divided by 9 minus 4. You're gonna get 12. Okay, so 9 minus 4, you're gonna get a 12 divided by 12. Okay, so 9 minus 4, you can ask it. So how you're gonna get the 12? So here it's actually 1 by 6 into, actually you're gonna get your 5. Okay, let me tell you 5. Okay, so 9 minus 4, you're gonna get 5 by 12. So now put this bracket. After the bracket, you have off. Okay, so since we don't have a off, we'll go with the division. So before going on to the division, we have a bracket over here, that is your flower bracket, where we have to remove the flower bracket. So let's remove the flower bracket. So what are the things are that? 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 6, and inside the flower bracket you have a division. So let's convert that into multiplication, and now it will become 12 by 5. Okay, so now you can do the cross multiplication. 6 ones are 6 twos are, so you have got 2 by 5 now. So that is nothing but 1 divided by 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3 plus 2 by 5. So close the bracket now. So now take the LCM of 1, sorry, 2, 3 and 5. When you take the LCM of 2, 3 and 5, you people are gonna get the answer of 30. And again take the first part of the fraction, start multiplying it, you're gonna get 15, 10 and the 12 on that time. Okay, so still we have not solved, let it be in the bracket. And now 1 divided by 15 plus 10 plus 12, you're gonna get 37 divided by 30. Let this be in the bracket again. So which is equal to 1 divided by 37 by 30. So now we have to go with the division, the next part, that is 1 into 30 by 37 it will be. So which is equal to 30 by 37 itself. So 30 by 37, that is your option A is the correct answer over here. So 30 by 37 is the correct answer. The main thing is you have to use the rule of Vibormus over here. So hope you all understood the second one. So now let me go on with your third one. So all of you have a look into your third question. The very third question, it's like this. So where you have a figure, and for this figure you have to find the perimeter for this figure. Okay, so let us find the perimeter for the figure. Use the formula perimeter of the figure, perimeter of the figure. So let's start finding the perimeter for this particular figure now. So perimeter for the figure, so below that you can just write which is equal to. Okay, so here they had given you 1 centimeter, 4 centimeter, again 4, and here 0 0.5, and here 0 0.5, 2.5, 2.5. Okay, and they have not given the names. So for our better understanding, we start writing the name. Let this be A, and let this be B, and let it be C, and let it be D. Okay, and this be E. Okay, this is your E, and this is your F, and this is your G. Okay, so we have just named it first. So now we have to find the perimeter of the figure. So for that we have to start adding the sides, that is AB. So AB plus the second one is BC, this side. Okay, so plus BC plus CD plus D and E, GE, GE. So this is your CD. Okay, AB plus BC plus CG plus GE plus EF plus FG plus AG. So all the sides 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sides you have taken. So what's the measure of A plus B? It's 1. And what's the measure of B and C? It is 4 centimeter. And then C and D it is 0 0.5 centimeter. And then D and E it is 2.5. And then E and the F, where you have it is as 2.5. F and the G, it is FG, it is 0 0.5 again. And then A and the G, it is 4. So now start adding everything. So when you add everything, you're gonna get 15 centimeters. Since we are all finding the perimeter, no need to express this in the square. Just stick it for 15 centimeter. And here your correct answer is your option A, 15 centimeter. So now let's move on to your fourth one. Have a look into your fourth question. So let me go with your fourth question. So what does your fourth question is going to tell you? A floor is 5 meter long, okay, and also 4 meter wide. And the square carpet of the side, that is 3 meter, which is laid on the floor, and where you have to find the area of the floor which is not carpeted. So only a certain area has been carpeted. The certain area is not carpeted, where you have to find the area of that floor. So let me go with the solution. Area of floor not carpeted. Okay. So which is equal to total area of floor minus area of carpet. So what is the total area of the floor? As they have given you in the question, it is 5 meter long and then 4 meter wide, minus which is the area which is carpeted, 3 meter, that is a square carpet side. So 3 meter can be expressed as 3 whole square, because sides, the two different sides you will be having. So 5 fours are 20, 3 threes are 9. So 20 minus 9, you people gonna get 11 meter square. So that means your option C is the correct answer. Okay, that is 11 meter square. So the area of the floor which is not carpeted is 11 meter square. Okay, so this is about your fourth question. So now let us go with your fifth one. So all of you have a look into your fifth question. So what does your fifth question is going to tell you? So where in your fifth question, you have to find the smallest number which is divisible by 6, 12 and 18. So which is the smallest number which is divisible by 6, 12 and 18? That is nothing but smallest number which is going to represent you the LCM. Okay, so that is, take the LCM of 6, 12 and the 8. Okay, either you can go with a 2 or a 3. 2 3s are 6, 2 6 are 12, 2 9s are 18, and then 3 again you can go with the 2 itself. 2 3s are 6, 9 as it is, 3 1s are 3, 3 1s are 3, 3 3s are 9, and again you can go with a 3. So 2 into 2, that is 2 2 into 2 into 3 into 3, 2 2s are 4, 4 3s are 12, 12 3s are 36. So now analyze that the option 180 is the smallest number. 180, okay, it is the one when which is divisible by 36. So find out the smallest number which is divisible by 6, 12 and 18. So which is the smallest number which can be divisible by 6, 12 and 18? So I'll just write the sentence. Now on analysis of option, now on analysis of option, 180 is the smallest one. That is, the smallest one is nothing but which can be divisible. Okay, smallest one is divisible, which is divisible by 36. So it is the number which is divisible by 36. So hence we also divide 180. So 180, hence 180 will also be divisible by will also be divisible by 6, 12 and 18. Okay, so what's your correct answer then? 180. You have to see whether from 36 these numbers are divisible or not. Okay, first. And but if it is divisible, so which is the smallest number which is divisible by 36? That one you have to find. Okay, this is a kind of tricky one they will ask you in your exam. Okay, so now let me go with your next question. That's your sixth question. So all of you have a look into your sixth question now. So which of the following measures of angles, okay, which of the following measures of angles of can be those of isosceles triangle? So which is the measure which can be the form of an isosceles triangle? They are asking you over here. So where you have to find the measure of the isosceles triangle in this question. So which of the following measure of the angle, where you have to find the measure of the angle. Okay, so with that measure of the angle should be an isosceles triangle itself. Okay, that's your question. So first understand the question, what they are telling in the question. So let's go with your sixth one. Let me go with your solution. So let us take one angle of triangle. Let us take one angle of triangle B 90 degrees. So one of the angle of a triangle B 190 degree, and the other two equal angles, and the other two equal angles B 45 degree. Okay, each, comma, then 90 plus 45 plus 45, which is equal to 180 degree. So we can tell that it satisfies it going to be satisfies, which is going to be satisfied the angle sum property, the angle sum property angle sum property of triangle, hence option A is only the option which satisfies the condition, which satisfies the condition. So use the meaning of isosceles triangle, and which is the correct answer you can find here. So here option A is the correct answer, that is 90 plus 45. This is the only one which is going to satisfy. In the another way you can take 90 plus 45, how much it's going to get you. Okay, so for that, which is the remaining number, 45 again. So when you add these two numbers, you're gonna get the number. Okay, so this 90 plus 45, you people gonna get around the 135 as your answer, which is less than 180. So we can call that as an isosceles triangle. Okay, so hope you all understood your sixth one. Now let me go with your seventh one. So all of you have a look into your seventh question. So what does your seventh question is going to tell? The length of a rectangle, okay, the length of a rectangle is 5 centimeter more than the breadth of it, and if the perimeter of the rectangle is 50 centimeter, then what you have to find? The area of it. So have to find the area of it. So let L be the length, and B be the breadth, of the rectangle of a rectangle. So now use the formula L is equal to 5 plus B. So we can just write L is equal to 5 plus B, and they are telling you that the perimeter, what is the perimeter of a rectangle? That is 50 centimeter. So now use the formula, therefore 2L plus B, which will be equal to 50 centimeter. So which is nothing but 2 into 5 plus B plus B, which is equal to 50 centimeter. So again, which is equal to 2 into 5 plus, here you have 1, here you have 1, that is 2B, which is equal to 50. So 2 5 side is 10 plus 2 2 side is 4B, which is equal to 50. So now 4B is equal to 50 minus 10. So which is equal to 4B is equal to 40. So B is equal to 40 by 4, which is equal to 10 centimeter. So now you have got B. With the help of B, we can find L. So therefore, L is equal to 10 plus 5, which is equal to 15 centimeter. So therefore, the required area is equal to L into B, that is 10 into 15, so that is nothing but 150 centimeter square. So that is your option A. So option A is your correct answer. So here first we will be finding the breadth, then we are just finding the length, and then together we are just finding length into breadth. So hope you all understood this problem. So now let me go with your eighth one. So all of you have a look into your eighth question now. So the 12 person can finish a piece of work in a 15 days. Okay. And in how many days will the same work will be completed by 20%? So we have already solved these kind of question. So once again, let's go with that. So let's see that number of days the people are working. So the number of days required by number of days required by 20 persons 20 persons to complete the work, to complete the work, that is 12 into 15 divided by 20. Okay, the easiest way I'm just using it. So now, so 5 threes are 5 fours are 4 ones are, and then 4 threes are, so 3 threes are, it is 9. So how many days it's been required? It's been required 9 days. So number of days required by 20% to complete the work is 9 days. So this is your solution for your eighth one. So now let me go with your ninth one. So all of you have a look into your ninth one now. So what does your ninth one is going to tell you? So let's see that for your ninth one. LCM of two prime numbers is, so whenever you're going to take the LCM of two prime numbers, then the LCM of those two prime numbers is nothing but, so whenever you take the LCM of those two prime numbers, it will be whether it is the sum or whether it is the difference or whether it is none, or what is the answer you have to find over here. So the LCM of two prime numbers, we usually consider that as a product. So here your correct answer is product. You can ask me how is you're gonna call that two co-prime numbers as a product. So let me explain you that since two prime numbers, since two prime numbers does not have any common factor, does not have any common factor, therefore the LCM of two prime numbers will be the product of numbers, will be the product of numbers. Full stop. Example, you can just take, let 2 and 3 be the the two prime numbers, then the LCM is 2 into 3, which is equal to 6. So that's the reason we can call the LCM of two co-prime numbers as a product of it. So now let me go with your 10th one. All of you have a look into your 10th question. In a school, there are 1,000 students are there, and 330 will come by bus, and the remaining 400 will come by walk, and the remaining will be dropped some by their parents. And you have to find the percentage of students do not ride the bus to the school, the people who will not come into the bus, the people who are all not coming in the bus, you have to find. So let's go with the solution of this. So how many students we are having? First, let's write that total students, which is equal to, so how many students are there? We have 1,000 students as given it in the question. Okay, so we have 1,000 students, and the students who does not ride by bus, so let's write that who do not students who do not ride the bus, that means people who are not coming to the bus, coming in the bus, that is 1,000 minus 333 who are all coming in the bus. If we take that, remaining will get, that is our 670. This many are the people who will not come by the bus. So therefore let's find the required percentage for this. So required percentage is equal to 670 out of 1,000 students into 100. 2020 will get cancelled, 1010 will get cancelled. So your answer is 67%. So 67% of the students do not ride the bus to the school. So I can tell your option A is the correct answer. Okay, so hope you all got your 10th one. So now let me go with your 11th one. So all of you have a look into your 11th question. What does your 11th question is going to tell you? We'll just have a look into your 11th one now. A train from a station A to B covers at a distance of 616 kilometer at a uniform speed. Okay, at the uniform speed it's going to cover. Okay, just a minute. Okay, at the uniform speed it is going to cover, a train is going to a train from the station A to B, it's going to cover the distance in the uniform speed, okay, of 212 kilometer per hour, and it halts at the station B for a 1 hour of time, and before starting it back, how much time it's going to take to complete the journey to reach back to your station A, that is from A to B back. It has been gone with the B station. Again, it has to come with the B station to the A station. So how much time it is going to take? You have to find the solution for this. So let's go with the solution of it. All of you have a look into your solution now. Okay, let me write the solution over here itself. Time taken to complete the journey, time taken to complete the journey will be equal to time taken from A to B plus time taken from B to A, from B to A plus 1 hour halt. They are halting in the station for a 1 hour. That also people will be considering over here. Therefore, we can tell time taken to complete the journey, time taken to complete the journey will be equal to 616 divided by 1 1 2 plus 616 divided by 112. Okay, this is already given in the question, plus 1 hour halt. Okay, so now 2 into 616, okay, divided by 112, and again plus 1, okay, which is equal to 1 2 3 2. That is why 2, because this is therefore 2 times, so I have taken and plus 1 as it is. So when you multiply 116 by 2, you're gonna get 1232 divided by 112 plus 1 as it is. So again, if you're going to do this, you're gonna get, if you're gonna cross multiply, you're gonna get 11 as your answer. So 11 plus 1, which is equal to 12 hours. So option C is your correct answer for your 11th one. So hope you all understood the 11th one. Let me go with your 12th one now. So all of you have a look into your 12th one. So what does your 12th question is going to tell you? So let's see that 12th one. A table was sold at 16% loss for 3,360. Okay, and you have to find what is the cost price of the table. So let's see the cost price of the table now. X is equal to, or x minus, since we don't know the cost, let the cost price be, let CP be x. So x minus 16 divided by 100x, which is equal to 3360. So which is equal to 100x minus 16x divided by 100, which is equal to 3360, which is equal to, if you multiply, if you subtract these two numbers, you're gonna get 84x divided by 100, which is equal to 3360. Do the cross multiplication now. So when you are going to do the cross multiplication, you people are gonna get the answer of, so when you people is going to subtract, you people are gonna get the, that is 84x divided by 100, which is equal to 3360. When you do the cross multiplication, you're gonna get x is equal to 3360 into 100 divided by 84. Okay, you're gonna get this, and where x is equal to rupees 4000. So that means option A is your correct answer. That means your 12th one is the correct answer. So hope you all understood this. So now let me go with your 13th one. So all of you have a look into your 13th one now. So what does your 13th question is going to tell you? So see here, there are 17 rooms in a school. So there is a school. In that school, there are 17 rooms are there. And in that 17 rooms, every room is having a 2 fans, and they are having a 4 LED bulbs. And you have to find how many switches has been required for the school. If every fan is going to require a switch, and one switch has been required for a 2 bulbs. So where you have to find the switches as well as the bulbs over here. So let us start with the solution. The total number of rooms is equal to 17. So total number of fans will be equal to 17 into 2, which is equal to 34. And we can tell the total number of LED bulbs. So what are the total number of LED bulbs? That is 17 into 4, which is equal to 68. So we can tell that the total switch as required, that is whatever it is there, the fans, that is 34 plus 68, it has been required. That means for every 2 bulbs, one switch has been required. So now again, if you do 2 ones are 2 threes are 4s are, so you're gonna get 34 plus 34, which is equal to 68. So 68 is your correct answer. Okay, so hope you all understood this, how to do. So now let me go with your next one, that is your 14th one. So all of you have a look into your 14th question now. The if a product of two decimal number is 12.194 and in one of them is 4.69, what is the other number is where you have to find the other number. So other number is equal to 12.194 divided by 4.69. Okay, so you can cross multiply here or you can remove the decimal point and do, and when you're going to do, you're gonna get the final answer as 26. Okay, either you can remove the decimal and you can do, or as it is you can do 4 ones are, and like that also, that is 469 1, and then 2s are 6 are, like that also you can do, and later you can keep the point, and option B is your correct answer. So come on, hope you all understood your 14